Hello, everyone. Welcome to Kudlow. I'm Larry Kudlow. So, lo and behold, the newly formed government of Afghanistan is populated by terrorists from top to bottom. 4 of the 5 Taliban ministers were released from Guantanamo Bay by the Obama administration back in 2014 in exchange for an admitted U.S. Army deserter, Bowie Bergdahl. I'm not even going to try to pronounce all their names, but you can see them up on the full screen. They are terrorist thugs. The new head of the government will be Mullah Hassan, former foreign minister and deputy prime minister in the prior Taliban government back in the 1990s and early 2000s. He is on a UN sanctions list. And the interior minister, Mullah Haqqani, is the leader of the Haqqani Network. The U.S. officially considers him the head of a terrorist organization with up to a $10 million price tag on his head, and he has strong links to al-Qaeda. All right? There are no non-Taliban members, no women. The son of Taliban founder Mullah Omar will be the new acting defense minister. Today, Secretary of State Blinken acknowledged, and I will quote, "These are people with very challenging track records," end quote. Really? I don't know what challenging track records means. I do know what terrorism means, and so do you. And we all know that the catastrophic blundering Biden withdrawal from Afghanistan has left us with a terrorist government. And we know that terrorist government will become a state sponsor of numerous other terror organizations. President Joe Biden has given the terrorists a homeland to gather and plan and train and plot violent attacks on the United States and all the other Western democracies, including Israel. China is already doing business with them, buying up rare earth minerals. Pakistan, which harbored the Taliban, will be a staunch ally. Russia gains a big foothold in Central Asia, threatening the Baltics, the Ukraine, Georgia, Belarus, ultimately Hungary, Poland, and NATO. These are the consequences of Joe Biden's disastrous policies. So far, the Biden administration has not recognized the new terrorist government. Of course, they should never do that, ever, nor should any monetary assistance be provided to that terrorist government. But statements so far by the administration are far from reassuring. Our own military has suggested we might be able to somehow work with them. Believe me, folks, this is not Taliban 2.0. This is terrorists. In fact, it's the same terrorists who ran Afghanistan back in the 90s. Now, for a moment, let's stop and go back to the original mission. In 2001, after the 9/11 attacks, the mission in Afghanistan was to rid it of terrorism, not to nation build, not to impose liberal, left-wing, progressive, woke values, but to crush terrorists. Let's not forget that. Most folks today believe that governments should be, quote, inclusive, all right, women, minorities, etc. That's fine. But that was not our mission in Afghanistan. And I want to add, we should not be in the business of imposing woke values on other countries. Right now, the U.S. government should understand that the Taliban takeover of Afghanistan is something we're going to have to fight either sooner or later. Today, Mr. Blinken, for the first time, actually blamed the Taliban for keeping airplane flights from taking off in Mazar-Sharif and Kabul airports. Yesterday, he wouldn't blame them. Today, he does. But many people involved in the Pineapple Express and the Underground Railway to help American hostages and their Afghan friends get out of the country, many folks have complained that the administration has given them no help at all. In fact, has been a hindrance, and in fact, has prevented airplanes from taking off. Our distinguished guest last evening, Congressman Michael Waltz, he said both the U.S. and the Taliban were to blame for the hostage problem, and it is a hostage problem, though again, the Bidens will not admit it. One of the worst aspects of this whole story is how Joe Biden continues to blame others for his blundering decisions. He loves to blame Trump. He's also blamed our NATO allies. He's even blamed Americans living in Afghanistan. But the one group he never blames is the only group that matters, the Taliban, who are truly terrorists, and who sooner or later we are going to have to take out once again. Truthfully, I yearn for the calm, peaceful, placid leadership days of President Donald Trump, who clearly knew the difference between our friends and our enemies, and he knew the need to put America first.